Okay, here's a detailed or more detailed explanation on pie-dar. So here I have a setup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chunks. Here's my home chunk. And here are the platforms I'll be putting the spawner on. As you can see, I have a spawner this way. Okay, now let's pretend I didn't know. So from this from this state, after I finish with my VT or whatever, I'll spam or hold 0 to get back to root. I'll click the number corresponding to tick, the one next to level, next to entities, and next to block entities. So I have a mob spawner spike right now. So what I'm gonna do is um I can either just keep decreasing like this, or you can even go easier and just shoot your render distance all the way down to 2. When I reopen my pie chart, spike's gone. So for that, I'm gonna increase by 1 using F3 and F, or I can do this. I'm gonna increase 1 at a time until I see the spike. Boom, it's there, so I stop. Meaning in 7 chunks, I have a mob spawner. With this information, I'm going to subtract 4. And then I'm gonna add back 3 and reopen. So my spike's gone. Now I'm gonna open chunk borders F3 and G, and I have a few options. When I pie-dar, I can either use 4 chunks, 1, 2, 3, 4, or I can use 3 chunks. I will first demonstrate the 4 chunk method. So I'm just gonna enter chunk, and I see my spike. That's kind of not a good example. Here we go. Okay, 4 chunk example. I'm gonna go in one direction. Okay, so when I enter this chunk, it means I have loaded that chunk in the end right here. Because I've entered one chunk, I have loaded this. And because I loaded it and don't see a spike, it's because then I now know there's no spawner in this direction. Because remember, in 7 chunks, I have a spawner from this chunk. So obviously in 6 chunks in this direction, I should be able to see something. So I go this way. I know there's no spawner. So let's check another chunk. Again, I load that chunk, but I don't get a spike. So I know there's no spawner in that direction. I'll check this direction, nothing. And I check this direction, I get the spike. Meaning there's a spawner in this direction. Because in this direction, I have loaded a spawner. Which didn't happen for any of these. The the 3 chunk example is a lot faster, a lot more efficient. I'm gonna use 4 different examples. Actually, a lot of examples. I'll use these 3 right here for 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, whatever. So obviously, I'm in 6 chunks. I enter this one. Okay, so obviously, I know in this direction in 6 chunks because I'm at 6 render distance. In 6 chunks, this direction, I have a spawner. So my fortress is there. Alternatively, if I go this way, okay, I know there's nothing there. Let me enter another chunk. Okay, so now I know it's there because I've checked this direction. Let's use an example where I'm in a different direction. Let's use these 3 chunks right here. When I enter, I see nothing. I see nothing. So I'm going to increase my render distance by 1. Why? Because now my acting home chunk is this one, I think. No, my bad. My acting home chunk has now moved here. It's kind of weird to explain, but if I was loading, if it was 6 chunks in this direction, 6 chunks in this direction, if I enter back 1 chunk, it's 7 chunks in that direction. 6, now it's 1. Or one. It's 7. 6, 7. Um, so when I use this example, I know it's not 6 in this direction. I know it's not 6 in this direction. Let me increase. So let me backtrack. So now I know 7 chunks in this direction, there is a spawner. So let me redo the example. These 3 chunks. Nope. Nope. Let's backtrack. Not 7 in this direction, but 7 in this direction. This is another example. No, it's not 6. No, it's not 6. We backtrack by adding 1. Not 7. Yes, it's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try it again. Not this way. Not 6 in this direction. Not 6. Let's backtrack. Oh, so 7 in this direction. Last examples. I know it's not 6. I know it's 6 this direction. And that's really it for pie-dar. The most primitive form is the 4 chunk method. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're in this example, you're individually checking each direction by the amount of chunks it's from here. This is your home chunk per se. And in your home chunk, the one where you adjusted your render distance, it's in this example 6 chunks in some arbitrary direction. So I'm going to check every direction, and if I load the correct direction, that means within that direction I have a spawner in 6 chunks. And again, if I load here, I know within 6 chunks I have a spawner. Let me reiterate with the 3 chunk example. For the 3 chunk example, I'm checking 1, 2 directions. Now, when I increase it by 1, I'm basically back here. I don't have to use another chunk. And also, I increase it by 1 because, like I said earlier, pretending this is the home chunk, I know that it's within 7 chunks of some arbitrary direction, right? And that arbitrary direction just happens to be here. Within 7 chunks, it's in this direction. Let's decrease back. Within 6 chunks in this direction, there's a spawner. If there's 6 this way, it'll be 7 this way. Hopefully, that makes a lot more sense for pie-dar. Yeah.